Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Horror Corner, and welcome to this horror movie review as part of my summer horror movie series in July here. So, today we're going to be returning to the world of aquatic horror, and we're going to take a look at a B Shark movie called Shark Zone from 2003. So, yeah, this is a movie that I actually got as part of it's basically given to me by what I thought was a friend until I watched this movie. No, it was given to me with a couple other movies that I wanted, and part of the deal is I had to take this one and I think another one, Infested, which I've recently watched and gotten rid of. So, will I be getting rid of this one? You'll have to wait till the end of the video to find out. So let's just go ahead and get into it. Shark Zone from 2003. So this, like a lot of shark movies that have been made in the last 40 years since Jaws and the success of that film, there's been so many shark movies, ranging all the way from high budget to very B kind of shark movies with low budgets and basically stolen footage, if you will. So let's just get into it to set up the premise and the cast, and then I'll get into my thoughts and review, which will be spoiler free. So, Shark Zone is a 2003 direct to video horror film directed by Danny Lerner and was released on October 14th, 2003. When a shoal of ferocious great white sharks threatens a small beach community, Jimmy, who encountered the deadly sharks a decade prior and was left as the sole survivor of his diving crew, must hunt them down at all the while dealing with a group of criminals who sees a priceless treasure that happens to be at the bottom of the ocean as well as the breeding grounds for the sharks. So that's kind of the setup for it. So basically, the film opens where a group of divers go searching for gold in a sunken ship. Among them are Jimmy Wagner and his father. However, a group of great white sharks attack the group, leaving Jimmy as the only sole survivor. 10 years later, Jimmy has married a woman named Carrie and has a son, Danny, although is still guilt ridden over his father's death, and has developed a fear of sharks. A man named Volkov asks him to help him search for the gold in the same ship. Although Jimmy declines the offer, the town mayor, John Cortell, asks Jimmy to patrol the beaches for sharks to prepare for an upcoming beach party. Jimmy agrees to do so eventually, witnessing a shark attack that claims the lives of several people. Sound familiar? I think a lot of these kind of movies sound familiar. As far as the cast goes, we have Dean Cochran as Jimmy Wagner, Alan Austin as Mayor John Cortell, Brandy Sherwood as Carrie Wagner, Velazar Benez as Volkov, and Luke Levitt as Danny Wagner. So yeah, that's the setup, the premise, and the cast for Shark Zone. Um, Before I get into my review, let me just say that I'm not the biggest shark movie fan in terms of horror movies. There's been one great shark movie, and that, of course, is Jaws from 1975. Even the sequels of Jaws were they just got worse as they went on. Um, Deep Blue Sea was was sort of more of a high budget with actors and actresses that we kind of knew, and it's kind of a schlocky, over the top sort of movie that I can watch. But as far as a lot of the B horror movies, the B shark movies, I should say, like I know Shark Attack, there's three of those movies, and this is kind of in that same vein, literally. Because some of the footage in here was taken from the footage in those movies, and in turn, those movies were taken from other shark movies. So, um, yeah, I mean, and I sometimes I like low budget B sort of horror movies, but it's tough with shark movies, man. It really is, and I'll just give you my reasons why. Um, yeah, this isn't a very good movie. In case you can't tell so far, I'm not going to be praising it highly in my review, and I'm thinking about unfriending the person that forced this on me. It's something that I'm really contemplating. No, no, it's just not very good. Let's just go ahead and get into it, starting with the things that I liked about it. And I was really hard pressed to come up with anything. There's no CGI really in this movie, which is kind of which I appreciate. It's kind of before the modern shark movies that use CGI, so I like the fact that they didn't over CGI this movie. That's a pro. You can kind of see where this is going, can't you? The main character and actor, Dean Cochran, who played Jimmy Wagner, wasn't awful. I've seen worse. I've seen worse acting. I've also seen worse characters. I've worse written characters, I should say. I actually liked the song during the ending credits at the end of the movie. I thought that was actually pretty good. It has quite a bit of blood in the water and random nudity in the movie. They got the color of the blood right. It is red, so I'll give them that much. The look of the shark when they're not attacking before they attack, but in the water is pretty okay when compared to other shark movies, B movies, CGI shark movies. Um, I thought that was okay. The main character's wife, played by Brandy Sherwood, is Carrie Wagner. She looks good. Um, it isn't the honestly the best compliment I can give it is that it isn't the worst B shark B horror movie that I've ever seen. So high praise indeed. So yeah, that's really about all I got for pros, guys. I searched long and hard to try to find some things that were legitimately good about this movie, and those are the only things I could come up with. The plot of the movie. Let's get into the cons, in case you can't tell. I'm very eager. The plot of the movie is very uninteresting, and it's kind of all over the place as well. With there's two different plots happening in this movie. One has to do with this guy needing to clear the beaches and protect people from sharks. Well, the mayor doesn't want to close down the beaches. Where have we heard that before? And then the other thing is the other plot of this movie has to do with um this gang, I guess, this led by Volkov, who's basically constantly asking Jimmy and forcing him eventually to take him to this sunken treasure where he was at the beginning of the movie, where he's attacked by sharks. So the two plots really don't mesh or mingle all that well at all. They're both uninteresting. All the characters, other than Jimmy, as I mentioned earlier, are completely stock. They're badly acted, badly written. So whereas a viewer, I could really care less about any of these characters, or if they die or if they live, what happens to them. The shark attacks, and this is probably the most disappointing part of the movie. I mean, when I'm going to for a B shark movie, I'm not expecting great plot. I'm not expecting great acting. And I'll even give you, I don't necessarily expect very deep characters. But you would think at the very least that they could get the shark attacks right. And they don't even do that well in this movie. There are a lot of deaths in the movie, not that you actually get to see any of them. All you see is blood in the water, basically. But the shark attacks are some of the worst I've seen with choppy editing, bad editing, cutaways, and most importantly, reuse stock footage from Shark Attack and other movies, including real life attacks, I guess. There's one scene early in the movie where you could tell that somebody just threw a bucket of chum at the camera when one character is meant to be getting attacked by a shark. You just see like a bucket of chum get thrown at the camera. It's so obvious. It's so bad. Of course, we have to have a typical dream sequences. If you follow my channel, you know I'm just crazy about the dream sequences. That movies in general, but especially horror movies and shark movies for that matter, like to put in there. We get a typical dream sequence early in the movie, which I could tell it was a dream sequence as soon as it started. It's totally predictable, and it is as stupid as any other. Um, they rip off a lot of the same beats from Jaws, of course, just like a lot of other shark movies and aquatic movies do. From the mayor wanting the beaches to stay open, despite constant warnings of shark attacks and people dying, to dead people, to two teenagers randomly jumping into the water and getting killed by the shark, just randomly, just like the beginning of Jaws when the two young women, well, the guy never gets in the water because he's too drunk and passes out on the beach. But yeah, they steal from Jaws as much as any shark movie. There's really no scares or tension filled moments in this entire movie. It was a slog to get through, very random and generic, almost more of a drama and a bad one at that. It's badly paced. It's all over the place. It never has me caring about anything happening. And finally, it's just a forgettable movie. It's a forgettable shark movie, and it's a forgettable horror movie. But hey, other than those cons, I would highly recommend it. So yeah, that's my review for Shark Zone. I'm not going to recommend this movie in case you can't tell, and I probably am going to put it on the chopping blocks in terms of taking it out of my collection. Again, it's not a movie that I went out of my way to get. I basically got stuck with it as part of a couple of movies that I wanted. The other movie I got stuck with, I've already watched and sold. That's long down the road, and this one hopefully will be shortly. There's just no reason or nothing that'll ever bring me back to watch this movie again. As I said, his wife, who was actually a Miss Teen USA, and then I think Miss USA in the '90s, Carrie or Brandy Sherwood. She's nice to look at, but she was the one character that I wish we would have gotten a little nudity with. Instead, you get random nudity from these people on the beach that I mean, I know men that aren't as flat chested as some of the nudity we get with them. So anyway, just had to throw that in there. So yeah, there's really nothing to bring me back to this movie. I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. I'm not really sure why I'm giving it a 5. I guess I'm just a nice guy. And I do understand that it is a low budget, direct to video shark movie. And as I said, it's not the worst that I've seen. So maybe that's why I'm giving it a 5. Those things there. But yeah, I wouldn't recommend watching this. 5 out of 10. Go ahead and comment down below if you guys have seen Shark Zone. What you think of it. Is it as bad as I'm saying? Is it even worse? Or do you actually enjoy it for some reason? I'd love to hear why. Please like this video and hit the little notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos for this series. And please be sure to subscribe to my channel down below so you don't miss any of my great horror content throughout the rest of this year. So that's my review for Shark Zone. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Stay scared. Bye.